What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. We are officially less than 1 week out from the Arnold Classic, and it is easily shaping up to be one of the biggest shows of the year. So when it came time for me to sit down and figure out my predictions, man, this one was tough. There are so many wildcards in this lineup, it is so hard to predict a top 10 in this show. But after sitting down and looking through all of the updates, considering Olympia placings, and some track records of some competitors, I'm pretty confident in my picks. So, here we go. So in 10th place, I have Patrick Moore. I think Patrick has made really great improvements through the upper body, but when I saw the picture of his legs, I just questioned if the legs have fully recovered after the Achilles tendon injury. That's a major injury to come back from. Now, I do think Patrick's going to come in conditioned, and I think he's going to have a good showing. His improvements, like I said, have been ridiculous, but in this lineup, I just think it's going to be too much for him. So I have Patrick Moore, 10th place. In 9th place, I have Kamal Elgargni. Kamal is a great bodybuilder. He's a great champion of the sport, and he's going to be the next Masters Olympia winner, I think. But, again, in this lineup, I think Kamal is just going to be out-muscled and just doesn't look as 3D as the rest of the lineup, especially from the back. So, for those reasons, I have Kamal in 9th place. In 8th place, I have Justin Rodriguez. I just think Justin has too many shows under his belt in the last 13 months. He does look great in his update pictures, more impressive than I thought he was going to be at the start. But I think when it comes to the final push, look, it's inevitable. Justin has to be at least a little bit tired, and I think that's going to show throwing his physique on stage, just enough to keep him out of that conversation for the top 7 or top 6. Plus, I do think Justin needs bigger triceps to really be symmetrical from the front shots. So, I have Justin in 8th place, but I do think the back lat spread is going to go to Justin in this show. He's got my favorite back lat spread, hands down. In 7th place, I have Akim Williams. Akim does look like he's going to come in conditioned at the Arnold, in better shape than we've seen him for quite some time. But Akim's track record just can't be ignored. And I do think he's a dark horse for that 6th place spot, or maybe even a 5th place spot. But I'm going to go with Akim in 7th place. I know right now he's obviously huge, but I still think he gets outsized by everyone I have above him. Aside from Shaun Clarida, technically. But anyway, I'll get to Shaun in a bit. Akim Williams, 7th place. So, in 6th, I have Big Ramy. And man, I can hear everyone in the comments section already. 6th place for Big Ramy? The biggest guy on stage? 2-time Mr. Olympia? Yes, I think Big Ramy's going to take 6th place. And here's why. It has much less to do with the fact that Ramy did not show up in shape at the Olympia, and more to do with the fact that when I saw Big Ramy's training video at 2 weeks out, he did not have that death face. Go watch one of my last videos. I break it down there. Actually, I'll put the link for the video here. But I think he just looks too full in the face, and I don't think he's suffering enough. I also think he won't score as well as other guys when it comes to the posing routine, which remember, is scored at the Arnold. I do think he's going to come back later this year improved, but for this show, I just don't think he's had enough time between now and the Olympia. So, I have Big Ramy in 6th place. So in 5th, I have Shaun Clarida. Now, Shaun has been training very hard for this show, and I know he's coming in with arguably the best conditioning of anyone on that stage. But bodybuilding is a muscle contest, and in terms of quantity, not muscle per square inch, but just sheer quantity, the bigger guys do have more muscle, and they do look bigger from that perspective. But his conditioning, crazy grainy look, symmetry, and muscle per square inch does count for a lot, and that's why I have him slaying a giant like Big Ramy. So, that's why I have Shaun in 5th place. Now in 4th, I have William Bonac. Bonac has been looking really good in his updates, and he's competed in more Arnolds than anyone on that stage, and I think that's an advantage, not a disadvantage. I mean, he took 1st in 2020 and 2nd just last year. But the bottom line is, William will probably get beat on structure, but he is going to be conditioned, and you know William is not a giant. He's more comparable to Shaun's height, and I just can't see him standing next to Shaun and not beating him from the side and the back especially. So, 4th place goes to William Bonac. So we're down to the top 3, and in 3rd place, I have Samson Dauda. Samson has made ridiculous improvements since the Olympia, and he's going to show up in the best shape of his life, for sure. But I thought about it a lot, and although Samson does pose like a master, which counts for a lot at the Arnold, and this was a really big toss-up between Samson and second or third, I really can't say he needs to improve on very much, or anything really. Maybe you could say just more overall size, but that's about all, and even that is getting really picky. So, I think Samson's going to show up great, and I could be wrong on this one, but I have Samson in third place. Now, in second place, and this is where it really gets interesting, I have Andrew jacked. Now, I've seen all the Andrew jacked updates during this prep. I think Andrew is hands down the guy that did the most work in preparation for this contest. He's been training like an animal, he has 0 days off, he's absolutely immersed in this lifestyle right now. He has 0 distractions, 0 responsibility to anything but the Arnold Classic. And when he did drop some updates earlier in the prep, undeniable. I think he's going to have a tight race with Samson, and I do think his legs will still have to come up in size, which he will get done later this year, I think. But for this show, I think Andrew is going to take second. And in first place, I have Nick Walker. Look, no bull, I think Nick has improved his aesthetics and is going to shock the world once again. I think Nick has not only streamlined his physique, but he can also present his physique with aesthetics, especially through the upper body. Refinement, consistency, focus, determination. That's been the name of the game for Nick, and he has drilled it home. You cannot deny Nick's size, his conditioning, his presentation, and the way that he commands the stage. I think he knew what he had to do in order to appease the judges for this show, and I think he's going to nail it at the Arnold. So, Nick Walker, first place. So there you have it, you guys. Like I said, this was a really tough video to make. I had a general idea where I wanted to place some of these competitors, but when you sit down and consider all the factors, it was tough. It really was. But I'm confident that that's how the show is going to go. And you know what? It won't be long till we all find out. So leave me a comment down below, you guys. What's your top 10? Or give me your top 6. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Get excited for the Arnold. Less than a week away. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.